In this video, I'm going to break down to you how you can make your most difficult work actually just feel easy. Like, have you ever had one of those days where your tasks just almost feel addictive? Like you're locked in, the hours are flying by, and you can't even get away from the laptop. I used to be a kid that watched other people work like that and think, how are they so tapped in? Like, I don't get it. But what switched for me and now being able to have this on any given day is understanding how our reward system, or should I say our dopamine, actually works. And there's a genuine science behind this so you can make this repeatable and not just random. And so like I said, in this video, I'm going to give you the exact structure of how you can set up your day so you can make your work feel easy whenever you want. So like I said, this actually all comes down to your dopamine system. And without boring you with kind of the science talk, just the basic concept to understand is that every morning when you wake up, your dopamine system, your rewards, and what you find pleasurable has been reset. And so the aim of the game here is to delay anything that's pleasurable as long as possible. I used to be the guy, and you might be the same. I would wake up and, let's be honest, our phone's right next to our bed. So you have a little scroll and then kind of get started. That instant stimulation of scrolling and notifications and things just flash in your face right from the get-go instantly spike where your dopamine level is at. And so naturally, to go from something as pleasurable as like scrolling and notifications to then have to do your actual work is obviously not going to feel great. So a basic concept to understand is that if something pleasurable comes before you've put in any effort into your day, any kind of work will feel like a punishment. So a very basic concept that you can run your day by is just do the hard thing immediately. I used to quite enjoy going to the gym after work because it kind of fit my routine, but I've now switched that to doing gym first thing in the morning. Why? Because it's this idea of doing the hard thing first and getting it out of the way when your brain is fresh. So the same thing applies to work, like when the laptop opens or when you step into the office, you do the task with the highest amount of output and leverage first. It's not, oh, I've got some notifications, let me get them out of the way, or let me check those notifications and let me get the admin done. No, like do the calls, do the conversations, do the hard thing immediately when your brain is fresh, when you've not had to make several decisions, and when you've got your most clarity, to be honest. That's when you want to attack. And what that does is it creates momentum, and that momentum gives you evidence that you're winning, should we say. And then that's what actually makes the day fun. Now you might say to yourself, yeah, I hear it, bro, but this is not it's not realistic for me to not be on my phone before I step into work. Like, let's be real, like our alarms on our phone, like on our way, let's say you travel to work, you need your phone for that. That's fine. There's a guy called Andrew Huberman. What he actually prescribes is a boredom warm-up before your work. That again, the whole idea here is just that your dopamine signals to you what's rewarding and what you're drawn to. And so what you can do before you begin any sprint of hard work and focus is make yourself as bored as possible before you start the task. You can do something as basic as for 5 to 10 minutes before your work, have no stimulation at all. Like be in as basic environment as possible and try and get yourself into the state of boredom. Because when your brain literally has no task, like nothing to problem solve, nothing to work on, and the only thing you have got is your work, that then suddenly becomes the most rewarding thing. And that is when you find that flow and when things become so addictive. And because it's rewarding, as if you're scrolling on the phone, your brain literally knows no difference. You want to keep going and get more of the dopamine. And a big thing that you can actually do to help yourself in all of this is to plan the night before. Because let's be real, once the day has started and there isn't an exact plan, you have those brief moments where you debate with yourself, like, oh, I am tired, but I should go to the gym, or like, I'm just not in the mood right now to do my cold calls, whatever it might be. And so those moments of debate or negotiation with yourself can be removed as much as possible when the day before you've clearly told yourself, no, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to the gym, and as soon as I'm going to get back, I'm doing X task. Sure, you might still emotionally not still 100% feel like it the following day, but because you've got that plan, there's at least not that decision fatigue of like, am I or am I not? What should I do next? No. You wake up and it's go time. The hard thing first, immediately. And trust me, bro, most of the time you'll actually find, especially if this is something new and this is what I experienced, it still feels shitty at the beginning. Like saying to myself, right, okay, for the next hour, I'm just putting the phone to the side and not doing anything but work. The momentum will build for itself and you'll experience this. Like the more, your brain will constantly just look for the next most rewarding thing. And when you feel that in your work, you'll gradually feel the shift, should we say. And why I say this is because when you have those moments of resistance, a little bonus rule that I want to give you is to just act in the first 5 seconds. Like you don't want to, it's the hard thing, like whatever feels most difficult, that's probably the compass for what you should be doing. Give yourself 5 seconds and jump, go. And one more bonus that I want to give you here is, especially if you have to be on your phone, but you don't want to feel so drawn to suddenly scroll or maybe get these rewarding signals from your notifications because they're already just there when you wake up. A big hack that I can give for you right now here is that there's this magical little setting in your phone where you can turn it to grayscale. And let me tell you right now that scrolling suddenly becomes very boring and off-putting when everything is gray. And so this is what I've actually been doing most mornings. So I challenge you, bro, for the next 7 days, try to delay your spike of something rewarding and pleasurable as late into the day as possible. And that even includes having a meal, be in a fasted state, wake up, do nothing but just the work. And I'm telling you, as a guy who's trying to balance building this business, building a sales career, and getting training done as well, it's made a fucking world of a difference. So, as always, it's been a quick one. I hope this helps you, bro. God bless.